What are these drones in New Jersey?
Some are from an Iranian ship, but I haven't got access to intelligence reports. I know one thing.
Yes, I don't know if you've seen this. Incoming borders sat down in an interview with Tucker Carlson. He said some things concerning this issue of drones. For the past few days, we have been talking about drones. I can't believe this administration hasn't taken actions on it. I guarantee you, if Trump was sitting in the Oval Office, every one of them would have been blown out of the sky by now.
What are these drones in New Jersey?
I don't know. I've talked to people in the intelligence community. Some think it's, some are from an Iranian ship, but I haven't got access to intelligence reports. I know one thing. Maybe the news is right. Maybe they're civilian drone. Maybe they're all legal. I just find it hard to believe. I can't believe this administration has taken action on it. I guarantee you, if President Trump was in the Oval Office, every one of them would have blown out the sky by now. I don't know factually because I don't see the intelligence reports. I'm not in yet, but I find it highly suspicious that the administration is saying they're all legal and lawful and that they pose no harm to the communities. I don't buy it.
Do you think that other members of the incoming Trump administration have been briefed on what the current administration thinks they are?
I do not know. I'm hoping they have. I mean, they should have, but I don't know. I just saw one congressman from New Jersey said he got information from Iranian
Yeah, I saw that.
And I've also talked to friends in the intelligence community that, off the record, thought the same thing, but I have no direct knowledge of it.
That's bizarre.
But I guarantee you, within a few days, if Trump get to White House, we're going to find out.
Do you know Mayorkas?
I know him.
How would you assess him?
It did not end there. Tom said something happened to Mayorkas. He played the role on the Obama administration. Then when he came back, he actually did what he always truly believed in: open borders. He did everything he could to unsecure the border, which is a complete 180. When you look at the whole situation, like what is happening now, it is extremely concerning. Even watching some of the videos, interviews, talking about this issue of drones, his response tells you everything. A lot of people question him, like, you lied to us that the border is closed. We don't believe a word that is coming out of your mouth pertaining to the drones. If you can lie about the border, you can equally lie about this issue of drones. That is what I saw. People questioning him over and over.
Do you know Mayorkas?
I know him.
How would you assess him?
I used to respect him. Under President Obama, I got a Presidential Rank Award under President Obama because I oversaw the removal of, well over a million aliens during that 3-year period. Mayorkas actually accompanied me on operations in New York City, targeting criminal aliens and illegal aliens, both. Jay Johnson approved the family operation because a lot of families were coming across during the Obama administration. And I told Jay Johnson, look, 9 out of 10 of these families are going to be ordered removed. Are we going to remove them? He said, absolutely. Jay Johnson stood by that. Alejandro Mayorkas went on operation with us. He backed me up on it a lot. The main thing we disagreed on is the trans policy, where you wanted special treatment for transgenders in ICE detention. I was ordered to sign that policy, and that's
What kind of special treatment?
making sure they're identified as being protected in our facilities and separated and get medical attention or whatever it was. And
Wait, so he wanted the U.S. government to pay for hormone therapy?
yeah. And we got in a huge argument over that, and I was ordered to sign the memo, and that's where we had a falling out. But
do you have any, why would he want, first of all, how many illegal aliens are there?
You'd be surprised how many we run across. And they just, they wanted certain protections for them in our facilities. Well, Alejandro Mayorkas went on operation with me. He shook hands with officers who were enforcing the immigration law. I remember we went to New York City on a huge operation, arrested a lot of illegal aliens. And when he was nominated to be secretary, I thought, okay, we're in the middle of this crisis again, right? He knows how we stopped it. We stopped it by building detention facilities, including family residential centers, the so-called cages, right? He knew how we stopped it. We stopped by building more detention facilities, detaining people, making them have a hearing, because if you're in detention, you have a hearing within like 35 days. 9 out of 10 lost. We put them in an airplane, sent them home, and board numbers tanked. So I'm thinking, okay, he knows how to fix it. He might be able to do this job. He got into the job. He did a complete 180. I don't recognize him anymore. He's about not enforcing the law. One of his first instructions to ICE is that being in the country illegally on its own is not enough for you to go make an arrest. You got to wait till they're convicted of a serious criminal violation.
How can a federal administrator ignore federal law? Isn't that unconstitutional? Why can't he be arrested for that?
It's illegal. I mean, the Fifth Circuit judge, federal judge in the Fifth Circuit said not only are they ignoring the law, they're actually violating the law. Again, that's when we need to hold these people accountable in the incoming administration. I believe they violated the law. And
the fact that Congress never did anything about that is really telling.
Well, that's, they went through the impeachment proceedings, and I said at the time that I think we had 5 or 6 Republican congressmen that didn't vote for impeachment. I couldn't believe it. And I thought they lost the right to be a congressman at that point. I mean, if they can impeach President Trump for making a phone call, you can't impeach Alejandro Mayorkas for what he did to this border, the biggest national security vulnerability this nation's ever seen. Look, me and Christopher Wray, I'm not a friend of his. I don't really respect the man much, but he agrees with me that the border has become the biggest vulnerability this nation's ever seen. He sees more red flags than ever before, and they continue with the open border, even to this day after the election. Now they're going to sell border wall material that we're going to need in day one we're getting in there.
Yes, when you watch the whole segment, you will realize that this man was actually good, but along the way, he changed. During the Obama period, he was able to deport a lot of people. When Biden came in, he had to implement the real policies of open borders. That is according to what I understand watching that. I decided to cut this short so as to show you what exactly is going on. Just the other day, we saw him on various interviews concerning this issue of drones. When questions surfaced to him, he responded in such a way that it triggered people the more. There is a time when you realize the country is in chaos. You need to be cautioned what you say. At the end of the day, people did not trust what he was putting out simply because of his record, what he has told people in the past, and they end up saying something contrary, especially the border issue.
They're going to sell border wall material that we're going to need in day one we're getting in there. The illegal behavior, the treasonous behavior from this administration has not stopped.
So how many days after Trump is sworn in before this effort to carry out the mass deportations begins? I know you said it starts on day one, but after how many days will we actually start to see that happening?
Day one. Day one will be ICE officers across the country will be out on the streets. Right out of the gate, President has made it clear, and I've made it clear, the priority right out of the gate is public safety threats and national security threats. And there's plenty of them to find, right? I looked at the data under the Biden administration. The deportation of criminal aliens have decreased 74%. So we have all those folks that the Biden administration failed to deport, plus you got this over 10 million encounters on the southern border that came across. We got a lot of them to look for too. So the public safety threats are plenty, and it's going to keep us busy.
The thing that disturbs me is not just that.
If you're seeing some videos behind my clips, please, I'm begging on you. That is just for the algorithm. You can stop here. You must not watch to the end. I usually like to pass this information so you should understand why I'm doing so. It is for the algorithm. Sometimes they don't want to recommend videos, so we know they are trick.
Just, went like, how dare you? Do you even know what an audit is? And I'm like,
women and so many men are
theory that a lot of people seem to be
coalescing around.
They were too woke, insisting that people use the term Latinx.
You have to say they. No, you have to do this.
Stop with the virtue signaling.
Step away from woke. Focus less on who is woke and more on who is broke.
Attorney or something.
I've never seen that.
I saw so many liberals getting super excited every time Kamala had a new celebrity endorsement. But we all know for a fact that these celebrity endorsements are not free.
Oh, is it true that they paid you $1 million for the endorsement for Kamala?
Not true.
Now it's time to unite everybody.
So, with that, I'm going to shake it off.
Figure out a way to say thank you.
That guy's name, he's such an absolute prick. I can't stand him. But anyway,
Hey there. Not doing great.
Terrible night last night. It was a terrible night.
What will the rest of us be doing on day one?
Bishop Vigano, he says that
The election.
Well, if I look at the big picture, it doesn't look good. So I'm going to work on this.
No matter what's going on out there in the world, of course, the worst things could happen.
One I've known, which is every president who's been really red.